again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. Whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Is this good? Yes. My name is Crystal Chang, but I'm also, is this better now?
Yes.
I'm also the proud beholder of an AKA, and that is Bear's girlfriend. And because Marty and I have a great deal of history, she's okay with that. She's the one who gave it to me, right, in the first place. But before I begin, I wanted to just compliment Marty and Bear, both of them having tremendous strength, support, devotion, and admiration for each other. I thank you. I lost my place. I have to flash back a little bit. When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. And so I have a treasure chest full of memories, way too many to share with everyone, right? But I have special thoughts. One of those thoughts was about 1980. Marty and her friend had a tremendously huge party. And in attendance were probably 70 to 80 people. And so as the evening progressed, oh, and the exciting thing was there was going to be a tarot card reader at this party. And so it was very exciting to think that, oh my gosh, we're going to have a tarot card reading, but I've never had that done before. And so the evening progressed. We started to eat and drink and chatter and blah, blah, blah. And then I asked somewhere in between, is it my turn yet to have my tarot cards read? And no, not yet. So the evening continued to progress with food and wine and whatever. And I said, now is it my turn to have my tarot cards read? And the answer was, no, not yet. So then it went on, and pretty soon it was like 1 o'clock and people were leaving. And all of a sudden somebody said, let's all get in the jacuzzi and have a good time. And I was, is it my turn yet to have the tarot cards read? No, but in the meantime, I had been passing this very dark, dismal room, dark black almost, right, with one little tiny candle in it. I couldn't quite see what I wanted to see, but nosy as I am, I did want to poke through. Well, okay, finally, around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was able to get my tarot cards read, and I walked into this odd room and encountered a gentleman with a big black cape, big black beard, massive black hair, big black horn-rimmed glasses. And I thought, oh dear, what am I in for? Well, the minute he began, there wasn't much conversation because he was doing tarot cards. He started to lay down the cards, and the first thing I noticed were his hands. And I will never forget those hands, because they were about the most beautiful, gentle, sweet hands, the hands of a virtuoso, a violin virtuoso, and piano virtuoso. And then I looked into his eyes.
Good morning. My name is Mike Fiore. I met Bear in 1983 at a ski party. Bear was all bandaged up from a serious skiing accident that day by a snowboarder that hit him head high, breaking his teeth and neck. And there he is, calm, sitting in a chair, smiling and doing magic tricks. Bear was a performing lifetime member of the Magic Castle. Everyone that met Bear learned to love him. Bear is my best friend. Forever. I'm sorry. Forever. I do love that man. His friendship was ultimate. We were like brothers. We have skied together, enjoyed football and basketball games. We ski raced in the Dave McCoy and Steve Canale charity events for years. We played racquetball frequently and had good competitive games until we invited a guy named Frank Miller to join us. He then taught us both what competition meant. Our friendship hit a high when we went to the 1988 Winter Olympic Games in Calgary, Canada for 2 weeks. And got hooked on pin trading. We both became totally eccentric, to say the least. With everything Olympic, which continued for many years. We ran in the Los Angeles Olympic Festival torch relay in 1991. He participated in the Special Olympics, I believe, several times. If I don't read this, I'll go off on a tangent. I have so many stories about Bear that it's just unbelievable. Bear was also a wine connoisseur, an incredible Halloween pumpkin carver, an expert with face painting also for the kids. Scary, believe me. He handled his long bout with brain cancer in stride and was always in good spirits. He never gave up. He was humble, kind, understanding, and enjoyed life. We'll all miss him, but he'll never be forgotten. And God blessed him, allowing him to go peaceably. And may God bless him now. And thank you all for being here. It's a wonderful tribute. And there's a lot I could say, but I was limited to 2 minutes. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody. Let's see. Bears are strong, curious, intelligent, confident, and courageous. Mama, you did an excellent job naming Papa Bear because he truly exhibits these qualities. Papa came into my life 23 years ago, but to me, I've known him a lifetime. We spent countless hours together, and I have so many fond memories, talking about life, our past, our dreams. Papa was extremely intelligent, probably the smartest man I know, and he was well versed on any subject that we talked about. Whenever we had conversations about current events, Papa was always very cool, calm, and collect on any topic but one. Anytime Mama and I wanted to talk about politics, Papa's big blue eyes would get bigger, and his soft, sweet voice would get louder. Mama and I knew very quickly we needed to change the conversation. Mama and I would giggle afterwards because we loved that he would become so passionate, because Papa was primarily a very quiet man. Even though Papa was very quiet, he taught me to love unconditionally. He was always sweet, tender, and love you. I'm truly blessed to have this beautiful couple in my life and privileged that they call me their daughter. Even though they were both very opposite in many ways, they complemented each other. He got her and she got him. I loved how they would coordinate their outfits and wear the same color when they would go out. Just so you know, it was Papa that followed her lead. Everyone thinks it was her, but it was him. I loved that he learned to ski because Mama knew how to ski. I loved how he was active and played a role in helping Mama with all the field trips when she was a teacher. I loved how he was so passionate about animals, especially cats. As many of you know, Mama doesn't see the glass half full, but she sees the glass always overflowing. And Papa understood that, and he loved her for that. The way they met 36 years ago, the way they lived their lives, the way they love others, this is a true love story. I want to thank all of you for coming. I'm not surprised that the turnout was so huge. I know they are loved by many. I want to thank their family, their friends, Facebook friends, students, the Monarch family for all their love and support. Special thanks to the Driftwood Lane family for always being there at any given hour to help out during the difficult times. Papa, we already miss you, but you will be in our hearts forever. Thank you.
I'm going to print mine out in extra large font. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Abby, and I was greatly blessed to be one of Bear's daughters. To most of you, he was known as Bear, Harry, or to one, he was also known as Harv or Harvey. But to me, he was simply my papa. I would like to just share with you a little of who my papa was to me. He came into my life almost 20 years ago. And quite honestly, in trying to remember exactly how or when is near impossible, because I just simply don't remember my life without him in it. But it was through doing Mama's hair that God gifted me my bonus dad. Sorry. Papa was always my voice of reason. His calm and constant presence always kept me grounded. He had the ability to deflate any stressful situation. He was always the calm during and after the storm. He embodied so many qualities that I admired and that taught me patience, kindness, and true love, and most of all, grace. Who I am today is because in part of who he was to me for all these years. This was not on my speech. It's not what I had written down originally, but one of the last text messages that he had written before he left. I just want you guys all to remember who Bear was, my papa, and the kind of love that he had in his heart for not only me, but all of you as well. Dearest Abby, I know in your heart that I love you more than tongue can tell. Be happy, my daughter. All is in God's hands. God bless you, your Papa Bear. And all throughout this journey, that's who Papa was. Always a smile, and always his hand extended for you to hold. Thank you, Papa, for all that you were to me and many others. Thank you for loving me unconditionally and always believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. I love you, and I will miss you more than words can say.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Bonnie Colgan, and I am truly honored to be invited to speak this morning about our dearly loved Harry Bear Weintraub, a bear of a man. I want to share some glimpses from several moments in time that I remember about our bear, the husband to Marty, the dear Papa Bear to Ellie and to Abby, St. Ivan. To St. Ivan, I could hear this. He moved. And to Crystal, his teddy bear, and the special bear to every one of us here, his Bear Strong family. Also, I want to tell you about how Bear will always be, as in Glenn Campbell's song, Ever Gentle on My Mind. And as in the lyrics, I want you to know what keeps him in the back roads, always by the rivers of my mind. As background, we met during a ski break in the cafeteria of the main lodge in Mammoth Ski Resort. Mike Fiore, his best friend, introduced me to this couple called Marty and Bear. This chance introduction expanded into a friendship lasting 30 plus years. Their names joined together as in one phrase, like bacon and eggs, salt and pepper. In the early years, we each made a 750-mile round trip every other weekend to Mammoth's ski area. Some 5 to 6 hours of driving time later, we would each exit Highway 395 onto State Route 203 into town. The night's crisp, clean mountain air was such a contrast to the metropolitan Los Angeles from where we come. We would try to grab a few winks of sleep before getting ready to ski and enjoy the breathtaking beauty of the majestic Eastern Sierra. In the morning, we would meet at our season ski lockers in the main lodge to gear up for another day of downhill thrills. I remember the helpful Bear coming to the aid of Marty as she struggled with her combination walk. He was like that, always helpful, always by her side, always supporting whatever she wanted to do or needed done, from typing her master's thesis, repairing her jewelry when necessary, or grabbing a matching colored chapstick lanyard from the locker to match her many colorful ski suits. Fashionista, she still is. Bear loved admiring her many coordinated outfits, and to see Marty soar down the slope, skiing with her skis together, her arms perfectly planting the ski poles in the snow as she made wide, swooping turns like an eagle. You could spot her graceful Stein Eriksen, elegant style of skiing anywhere on the mountain. In 1992, I moved full-time to the town of Mammoth Lakes. Marty and Bear always rented a room for me during the ski season. I was able to catch up on their week's work, social, and teaching experiences, including their country western dancing. Bear talked about his wine club tastings and the secret to analyzing the complexities of a fine wine. I even found out that he enjoyed helping Marty with all her classroom special projects, such as publishing their student newspapers, entertaining the school with the pumpkin carvings, and performing magic tricks. To quote Glenn's lyrics again, in the back roads by the rivers of my mind, there are so many good memories navigating around, but there is one Mammoth weekend that has had a lasting effect on me. It would shape my opinion of this bear of a man, his work ethic, his love for Marty, his friends, and the animals. It had been a week of heavy snowfall. I was given a book fresh off the press written by Bill O'Reilly called The O'Reilly Factor. It was the year 2000. We decided not to ski that day due to a winter storm pounding the mountain. We stayed inside, watched the snow make delicate white lace curtains on the windows, and listened to the howling wind. We drank Marty's favorite hazelnut coffee, which, by the way, she brought me in bed every weekend that they stayed with me. And lucky for me, my husband has embraced this policy ever since. Freshly fallen snow is a beautiful sight. We were warm and cozy by the master bedroom fireplace. We watched a local black bear that should have been hibernating stroll through the neighborhood and climb up a lodge pole. But by 9 o'clock in the morning, our bear was bored. He seemed bored, and he asked to read the book that I had been given. But Marty, the teacher, she is, thought it would be a good idea for each of us to read a chapter out loud and then discuss it to one another. So the three of us squeezed into my queen-size bed, facing each other by using the head footboards as backrests. And it was some 12 hours later that we noticed we were still reading chapters out loud to each other and then discussing its content, interrupted only by the loud beep, beep, beep of the snow removal equipment in the driveway. We were only interrupted then to think that maybe it was time to call it a day. Amazingly, we had only taken a break for grilled cheese sandwiches layered with tomatoes and crushed crushed oregano leaves, our only meal of the day. And that was surprising because, as you may know, our bear loved to eat. He rarely missed a meal. The next morning, over hazelnut coffee again, we resumed the reading, and by late afternoon, we had covered all of the O'Reilly factors, chapter by chapter. We read good factors. We read bad factors. We read about class, about money, sex, the media, drugs and alcohol, jobs, parents, dating, spouses, children, celebrities, politics, race, religion, success, and friendship. We read chapters on everything from politics, education, to discrimination of women in the workforce. You name it, taking turns, we had read to one another each chapter out loud, and then debated it before going on to read the next chapter. This turned out to be a great way to explore more about each other, our beliefs, and how our family origins helped to mold our opinions and shed new light on understanding our individual reactions to daily situations. It was an amazing experience and a way to deepen our already very strong and close friendship. As you've heard, Bear was usually a quiet bear, an intently good listener. And like the old E.F. Hutton commercial, when he spoke, you listened. We concluded that weekend with reading The Gratitude Factor, the final chapter in that O'Reilly book. I still feel gratitude to this day, knowing this bear of a man who is so ever gentle on my mind. Another dimension to Bear was how much he loved his animals. The extent to which he would go to protect them was endless. In addition to his feline loves and all of the hummingbirds, if you've ever been on Driftwood Lane, he was the kind bear that even had room in his heart to love a big black Labrador retriever named Cole. Cole loved to snow surf, pee, and even poop for Bear. Cole had a bladder like a camel that could probably bring tears to the eyes of every man in this room over 45 just to watch him produce a stream longer than Rosemary Clooney could sing Cry Me a River. Just after Bear was released from the City of Hope following another surgery, my husband Ron and I attended a Mother's Day church service at Montrose, where Pastor Dave spoke about the importance of legacy. Yes? He's nodding. Harry Bear Weintraub is the perfect example of a person who leaves a legacy worthy of celebration, leaving a warrior-like, courageous spirit, big as a grizzly bear, but kinder than a teddy bear. Bear's life exemplifies love, sincerity, perseverance, courage, and justice. He was mindful, patient, creative, purposeful, and artistic. All qualities and attributes for a life well lived, and deserving of the celebration that we have today for him, a legacy most worthy. What a joy and privilege to have known this tender, gentle, forever on my mind bear. He exemplified great personal power through his life. We knew him to be kind-hearted, humble, and a brave bear of a man. For the record, he made the best damned barbecue rack of lamb to ever touch our lips, crushed with lots of garlic and pepper, always pairing them with the most delicious Pinot Noir wines. In fact, after having picked him up from the hospital after another surgery, this brave warrior bear insisted on barbecuing a rack of lamb that same day, bandages and all. What would be a wonderful sit-down dinner together on Driftwood Lane. As the poet Maya Angelou has stated, a great soul serves everyone all the time. A great soul never dies. It brings us together again and again. Ron and I will dearly miss this bear of a man. We know his big baby blue eyes are watching down on us as we celebrate him today. And as Maya said, this kind-hearted soul will indeed touch our lives again and our hearts again and again in ways that we will cherish forever. Godspeed, my friend. You are forever gentle on my mind. And as in the lyrics of Glenn Campbell, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me, but I'm not blind. But not to where I cannot see, you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. Thank you.
I guess my 6th grade teacher on the lips. Let me tell you, she was one hell of a looker back in 1969. Still is today. An awakened man once said, quote, "The life of a human being is fleeting. The exhaled breath never waits for the inhaled one. Even dew before the wind is hardly a sufficient metaphor. It is the way of the world that, whether one is wise or foolish, old or young, one never knows what will happen to one from one moment to the next. Therefore, I should first learn about death and then about other things," end quote. A clear awareness and correct understanding of the nature of death can enable us to live life fully and without fear, with clarity and purpose and joy. Buddhism views everything in this universe, everything that happened, as a part of a vast living web of interconnection. The vibrant energy we call life, which flows throughout the universe, has no beginning and no end. Life is eternal. Life is a continuous dynamic change, a cycle of change. We experience these cycles every day as millions of the some 60 trillion cells that comprise our bodies die and are renewed through metabolic replacement. Death is therefore a necessary part of the life process, making possible renewal and new growth. Upon death, our lives return to the vast ocean of life, just as an individual wave crests and subsides back into the wholeness of the sea. Through death, the physical elements of our bodies, as well as the fundamental life force that supports our existence, are returned and recycled through the universe. Ideally, death can be experienced as a period of rest, like a rejuvenating sleep that follows a day of hard work and exertions. So, just like the bear, who hibernates all winter, wherein he will rest in peace, rejuvenating himself, waiting for the right external causes to manifest into spring, when he will awaken once again, to continue life anew. Death, then, just like sleep, is not something to be feared. From the standpoint of eternity, there is hardly any difference between a long life or a short life. Therefore, it's not whether one's life is long or short, but how one lives that's important. To die well, one must live well. or those who have lived true to their convictions, who have worked hard to bring happiness to others, are likely to die with a deep sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. On the other hand, those who have lived in idleness, self-indulgence, or without respect or concern for others may face death with regret. Bear lived his life in a very meaningful, valuable way. He always gave of himself and supported Marty in every aspect of their life together. Bear's life is actual proof he passed with no regret. So I would like everyone to take a moment every day to pause and reflect on your own lives and search for new causes to make to live a better life and teach others to do the same. And if one day you feel discouraged or lost, you can't find your way forward, just follow the bear tracks. And you too will be able to lead a life worthy of respect and honor, the life of the bear. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Let's see. Bears are strong, curious, intelligent, confident, and courageous. Mama, you did an excellent job naming Papa Bear because he truly exhibits these qualities. Papa came into my life 23 years ago, but to me, I've known him a lifetime. We spent countless hours together, and I have so many fond memories talking about life, our past, our dreams. Papa was extremely intelligent, probably the smartest man I know, and he was well versed on any subject that we talked about. Whenever we had conversations about current events, Papa was always very cool, calm, and collect on any topic but one. Anytime Mama and I wanted to talk about politics, Papa's big blue eyes would get bigger, and his soft, sweet voice would get louder. Mama and I knew very quickly we needed to change the conversation. Mama and I would giggle afterwards because we loved that he would become so passionate, because Papa was primarily a very quiet man. Even though Papa was very quiet, he taught me to love unconditionally. He was always sweet, tender, and loving. I'm truly blessed to have this beautiful couple in my life and privileged that they call me their daughter. Even though they were both very opposite in many ways, they complemented each other. He got her and she got him. I loved how they would coordinate their outfits and wear the same color when they would go out. Just so you know, it was Papa that followed her lead. Everyone thinks it was her, but it was him. I loved that he learned to ski because Mama knew how to ski. I loved how he was active and played a role in helping Mama with all the field trips when she was a teacher. I loved how he was so passionate about animals, especially cats. As many of you know, Mama doesn't see the glass half full, but she sees the glass always overflowing. And Papa understood that, and he loved her for that. The way they met 36 years ago, the way they lived their lives, the way they love others, this is a true love story. I want to thank all of you for coming. I'm not surprised that the turnout was so huge. I know they are loved by many. I want to thank their family, their friends, Facebook friends, students, the Monarch family for all their love and support. Special thanks to the Driftwood Lane family for always being there at any given hour to help out during the difficult times. Papa, we already miss you, but you will be on our hearts forever. Thank you.
Everybody is dressed in black. days have turned to tears, thinking back on all the years. I know that you're in a better place, but I'm still here missing you today. It isn't easy to say goodbye, but I know it's only for a little while. Run up ahead now, and I'll catch up, 'cause I'm gonna see you when tomorrow comes on the other side, on the other side. Can't you feel you're finally home? Running down those streets of gold, the kind of peace you can't explain. Looking into Jesus' face, we know that you're in a better place. We know we'll be joining you someday, but it isn't easy to say goodbye. We know it's only for a little while. Run up ahead now, we'll catch up, 'cause we're gonna see you when tomorrow comes on the other side. Where there are no more lies, no more pain, no more tears left to cry. We will join with the angels, singing this song, praising our Savior all the day long. It isn't easy to say goodbye. I know it's only for a little while. Run up ahead now, I'll catch up, 'cause I'm gonna see you when tomorrow comes. It isn't easy to say goodbye. We know it's only for a little while. Run up ahead now, we'll catch up, 'cause we're gonna see you when tomorrow comes on the other side, on the other side, on the other side. We will see you there on the other side.
Not a song. When I weighed a suitcase, the bear with some toothpaste. Found a brother was dropped off, David saw. It's
It's that atmosphere, it's a little thick.
I have a lot of friends who were Scorpios. So I decided to have a Scorpio party. And I had a friend whose room, he let me rent one of his rooms in his house. And allowed me to have a party there. So I wanted to have a tarot reader. And I don't know why, because I've never had my tarot cards read, or I just thought it kind of went with the Scorpio sign. And then one day I said to him, your name is not Harry. I said, I always nickname people I really care about, and I'll let you know one of these days what your nickname is. He said, I know, your nickname is Bear. You just gotta be a bear, that's all there is to it. So it's stuck, and I'm telling you, over the years, people would meet both of us, Marty and Bear. And because I have a boy's name, sometimes they would look at him and call him Marty, and then they'd go, oh no, she's not a bear. But always, people remembered Bear. That was the name they remembered. I was trying to think of the most important thing about him besides the fact that he's so smart and kind and creative and soft-spoken. So always you get the bigger piece of meat type of guy.
Marty named him Bear, and she saw his hairy back and his hairy chest, that he took and he actually changed his name. He lifted his counselor and named Bear Weintraub. That was kind of nice. And that's how close they were. Even throughout most of these years that I've known Bear, no big deal until one of these days that I went to work with him, that his name was Harry. I always thought his name was Bear. Yeah, we walked into his office and everyone was, hey, Harry, and I turn around and see who they were talking about. And sure enough, it was Bear, and walking into his office and seeing some of these paintings that he had done, seeing some of the artwork that he had, of course, some of the photography of him when he was younger.
Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer. I met Marty and Harv about 33 years ago through my husband Alan. And Alan and I had been dating for about a month. And Harv and the four of us, we did a lot of really wonderful things together. We had a lot of wonderful trips, and it was just every weekend we spent together. And throughout that whole time, he was always the same person. I mean, over the years, he's always been the same person. And you think you know them, everything about them. And I have to say that in the past year and a half, I've discovered things about Harv that I just never knew. Watching him go through this horrible, when you have dear friends and something catastrophic happens in your life, it's that's when you really learn who they are. And the dignity, the grace, the humility, the strength, the courage he's gone through this battle is just, I will never forget it. I think all the wonderful things he is for the rest of my life, I will never forget these things about him. I'll never ever forget how he fought this battle.
Since the 80s, we've been very close friends. We've known different things. Everything One of the accidents there in the thing called paintings, which is very many people go down that in the fish. What she did. I would think the bears, because I said, I'm going to take it down. Well, she didn't have it than I did. That was unbelievable. But I would be able to take care of her because it was above his, eating care. He was glad not to go with that. But we had a good time. So Marty was part of our relationship with her. She was wonderful. It was kind of nice because no matter where anybody was or what we were doing, she was in favor of it. I said, yes, go. I'm glad you're so good together. And we were. They really had a good night.
I'm lucky enough and I'm blessed enough in this life to not only have biological parents alive, but also what I call my bonus parents. And Mommy and Bear have been my bonus parents for 20 years, and in so many ways, I'm closer to them than my own biological parents. He is just an amazing human being that has influenced my life and has shaped me into who I am today. And I'm beyond lucky, because really we're blessed and lucky to have had Papa Bear in my life all these years. 4th of July is always a given, and then Halloween. Halloween has been so magical with Papa Bear. He just has an amazing hand at carving pumpkins. I don't think really it's magical. I always appreciated it before I had kids, but once I did have kids and I saw just their excitement over it, it just added so much more to just his magical carving pumpkin skills. Like it's out of this world. So that's, moving forward, I take all those qualities, those amazing qualities, and it's part of who I am today. Is because of who he was to me all these years.
I met Papa 23 years ago, and I actually lived next door to them. He's extremely intelligent, and people don't even know that he was a professional magician. That's another thing. He's done so many things in his life, he's experienced so many things in his life, and he doesn't really talk about it. You know, it's other people saying he was a magician, and he is extremely talented. He's an artist. Another thing, he's an amazing artist. He doesn't talk about it. He's just doesn't project himself like that. So luckily, Mama is his advocate. So through her, we realized what an amazing, intelligent and creative human being he is, because he really is.
We'll have spent time together, and we'll hug and say goodbye, and we'll say, it was really good being with you, my friend. And I'm not going to edit this, all right? When you use the word friend, it's as if somewhere at the end of the universe where all things are defined, and the word friend is there and defined,